As children, we didn't care how we were perceived or how our actions were judged. We had this kind of innocence. We knew who we were at that moment, we saw no faults in ourselves. That changed as we grew older. We were introduced to different factors that led to judgmental thoughts. Some factors would be the different medias, religious beliefs, the views put upon us by our families, etc. All these factors created a strive to become a person who matches these images and views. When I was younger, I wasn't like a lot of other people. While most people stood tall and were proud of who they were, I would hide behind a facade. I put on an act because I was scared that the person I wasn't good enough and that everything I did was being judged. I was too scared of how people would view me as a person. I was a pretty secluded person too. I had friends, but I was never close enough with them to be who I really was. As I went into high school, it got worse. I wasn't happy with how my life was going. I skipped out on joining clubs and doing things I thought looked fun because I wasn't sure what people would think of me. Over my freshman and sophomore years, I slowly drifted into a case of depression. Some negative thoughts made their way into my mind. I would look back on my life and think how much of a wasted space I had become. I'm not proud of myself for this, but I thought about just ending it. I never went through with it because the image of my family at my funeral wasn't something I could bear. I thought my spiral into darkness wouldn't end, so I found a small light that lit up my world. Not to sound cliche or anything, but the light was my music and musicianship class. Music was a hobby of mine, and I was able to do it in school. The teacher of the class, Mr. Mitchell, was actually a big help too. He was such a goofball, and he didn't really care about how people perceived him. Taking that class gave me a big wake-up call. This past year, I decided I would do things I wanted to do, and be the person I wanted to be. I joined 3 music classes: band, choir, and of course, music and musicianship. I'm more talkative than I have been in previous years. I'm not completely myself on the outside as I feel on the inside, but at least I found myself. You shouldn't mold yourself to please others. You should always be comfortable in your own skin. This I believe.